and ops works, DevOps, right? And some of the developer tools, right? And then DNS and Route 53. Like, so this is the agenda. Then we will be discussing about the certification exam guidelines, and then about the mock test, and then Q&A session, right? So the very first thing we begin with is cloud formation, right? So before I move to cloud formation, right? So I'd like to ask you about the difference between doing things manually and the automation, right? So the benefits of automation, just I wanted to revise, right? So can you tell me first the challenges that we face with the manual kind of operations, right? So what do you think? What may be the challenges? Manual process. So the topic is like challenges with manual processes, right? You can please feel free to tell your points. Say like you are manually creating some instance, right? Say like manually you are creating some S3, manually you are going and doing some activity, right? So what may be the challenges, right? Because so many resources in real environment, so many things to do, right? So what may be the challenges? Say like I would say like one challenge I would say difficult to repeat. What do you say? Correct, no?
Yes.
Okay, so something similar.
Time consuming, or
yes,
it will take more time.
Yes.
Erroneous can be, there can be a lot of errors.
Prone to error, you meant to say.
Yeah, prone to errors.
Sorry, I got ignition alarm. Yeah, correct. Any other point?
Manual process.
Reliability.
Yeah.
Be unreliable, right?
Unreliable in what sense? I mean,
unreliable in sense like while doing, you had to choose delete on termination or don't delete on termination. You forgot to do that.
Yeah. So that is what prone to errors.
Yeah. So if it is prone to errors, it becomes unreliable. Correct.
Correct.
As a consequence. Correct.
Yeah.
Boring.
And then, yeah, mundane. It can become mundane for repeat the same tasks.
So you mean to say monotonous or something? Yeah.
Monotonous. Yeah.
Okay. Correct. Yeah. And again, I would say like lack of documentation and so I'll just explain you how the automation can give you benefit with respect to documentation, right? Because see, if you are writing some code, something, and there are a lot of things, whatever you want, that is already documented, right, by default.
Mm-hmm.
So in manual process, that documentation by default it will not come, right? Got it?
Yeah.
So if you are doing something, right, by writing some program or some code or some script or something, so what happens there? There you will have all those things written, right? So some kind of documentation will happen whenever you are going for automation, right? So some kind of documentation will be inherent, right? So that's what I wanted to do. So now with these kind of these losses, right, these kind of issues with the manual process, right, so we can say that the automation, right? Can give us benefits. So what kind of benefits? As just all those opposite things you can think of, right? And that's it, right? So it will be fast, it will be reliable, right? And then repeatable,
documented,
inherent documentation, right? What else? That's it. Yeah, so all these benefits we got, right? And then if you talk about the from the security aspects also, so if there is like error, there can be security gap as well, right? Just because of this kind of thing, right? Because again and again you are doing something and you did some mistake and then security loophole. So this can also get a benefit of say like security or something. So I just discussed this because we are going to discuss about few of the components, and you will have the benefit of automation there, right? So the topics that we are going to discuss will have the benefit of this automation, right? So in common, I just wanted to tell you the benefit of the cloud formation, right, and Beanstalk and OpsWorks and all. So we are discussing about cloud formation, right? So any idea cloud formation as the term suggests?
It'll basically to create a cloud infrastructure, I mean a cloud platform.
Correct.
The scaffolding and all, everything gets created through it.
Correct. So when the task is so huge and lot of things to do, right? Lot of things to be repeated and lot of things to manage, right? If we go with manual process, right, definitely it will be very much challenging, right? So this cloud formation, right? Here you see code infrastructure, code your infrastructure from scratch with the cloud formation template, right? Language in either YAML or JSON format. So this is important, right? So you can write either in YAML or JSON format, right? And you can take a sample template. You can begin from there, right? Or you can write from scratch, right? And then you can upload it, right? You can directly upload the code, right? Or you can put it in S3 bucket and you can take it from there. And then AWS Cloud Formation will take it, right? And it will process it, right? You have the output. So what happens, this Cloud Formation service allows you to create, right, and manage AWS resources, say like your EC2 resources or your S3 resources or RDS resources or security group or whatever kind of resources, right? So you can code it, right, as a program, right? As a code you can write things, right? So you can understand how easy it will become, right? It will be like you can have a different versions of it, right? You can create a template actually to begin with. So you just make a template, right? And then what do you do? The template would be a plain text file, right? This is what you are coding it, plain text file that will be having all the resources that you are looking for, right? And then from there, this cloud formation will take and make it a stack, right? You can use CLI or console or whatever. Now you just make a stack out of it, right? So what will the stack? Stack means what?
So first in, first out.
That is something like the definition that you remembered, right? But the literal meaning of stack.
Something
one
is coming.
over
Correct.
One over another. Yeah.
Correct. So just a bundle, right? Just a bundle. So we just create a stack, right? and then that it will be say like you just wrote something, I want this, I want that, I want this, and then say like what I mean to say is, say like you say I want 2 EC2 instances, right? You just say like 1 second. So you say I want 2 EC2 instances, right? You say I want 2 elastic IP for it, right? You say I want 1 S3 bucket, right? So you say like I want 1 application load balancer, right? And those no, those 2 EC2 instances that you created, right? It should be on top of it, right? In front of it. So you want something like this, right? You code it, you click a button, you get it. Got it? Understood cloud formation? Purpose of cloud formation. So you were asking Shweta one time.
Yeah, so this is infra as a code we have got it
Yeah,
deployed
Shweta.
through the cloud
Yes.
formation. But
Yes.
my question is like, suppose I want to see, for all my, so there are cross accounts, okay, one master account and there are multiple accounts into it, and each account we have created several EC2 instances and
That
different
also we
components.
can address, but just after in the Q&A I can address that. You are talking about AWS organization, so I'll definitely introduce it to you.
Yeah. No, so if I have to query, suppose, what are the flavors, how many network balance this is created, how many resources are created, and it should extract data from each of the accounts and all,
Yeah.
and report. So what should we use in such cases?
See, we practically we go for combination of things, but definitely in that situation, you will definitely require AWS organization.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the beginning, because and then the ARNs are there, right? So we can use ARNs there. Cross account, you require something, not say like you have one account and then you have an admin account and then you have multiple production or development or some
So
different.
you will have to little explain on that maybe in Q&A,
Sure,
but you will have
I'll
to
take,
explain on
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
take that up. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So this cloud formation, we don't have any hands-on or something. However, you would you like to see where it is? How you can know, at least do something about it?
We can
If you
follow
could just show, yeah.
similar steps, no? Harish, to go to the console, search for it, and get into.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty much
Straightforward.
similar. Yeah, I mean the same steps. So if you are even lost or if you come up with a new product name which we are not aware, we can go follow the same steps and get some documentations in AWS. So I don't think, I mean, at least for me, I'm not talking about the others here, but just to know the path and all those things, for today, we don't need to spend time on the hands-on, at least, unless there
Okay,
are something
let
that
me
we
just
need to
show
do.
you, right? Because these all things will be covered in other CSOPs and other things, right? But at least you see here, this is the cloud formation thing. So you can just begin from here. You will have a number of documentation, everything will be there. You see this video itself is there. So you just try to watch this. You just go through the benefits and all those things, right? You just have to click on create stack. You will be having multiple options to create stack. You just begin with simple sample stack or something. Just choose some sample stack, say like some lamp stack or something, or maybe Ruby or WordPress blog or something. Simply just do this, right, and test it once at least. Just say like next. You just give some name, right? You give some password, right? You give some root password db thing, instance type, and you say next, right? So you will see that what's happening. You will be it will be created for you, right? Whatever EC2 or whatever is there, so on top of it, it will get created, right? And everything will be running, and you can just cross verify. Okay, enough.
Yep, that's
Yeah, yeah.
good enough.
Okay, okay. Please do try that, right? So that will be, at least you do this and you see that okay, something is happening. That no blog, whatever blog you are looking for, it will get created, right? So if we have time and if you want, maybe after the session, right? So I'll take it up for you again. Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Now. So the very next topic, the small topics are there. So this particular topic is Beanstalk. Right? So Beanstalk is again a platform for deploying a web application, right? So that was like, no, you create anything infrastructure as a code, and that is something you can uh, get a very huge code, and you can just code everything and nothing else is required, right? So you just write it and you just get it. That's it, as simple as that. And you repeat it and you have all the methods. So similar to that, this elastic beanstalk, right? This one is not to get confused. This is a platform for deploying and for managing. So mainly for deploying and then for managing what? The web application. So quickly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud, right? So we are looking for application here. So you just want some application, you just need to upload the application code, right? And things will be, there. That's it. You don't have to provision your server. You don't have to do anything. You just have the codes. You just don't know anything. You just know how to write a good code, right? And that's it. And you have like Java or .NET or PHP or something, Python. Or now these many things are supported. So earlier, like things were a bit limited, but now you have like wide variety of things. So you just know any of the language, any script here, and then you just write a code. You upload that code, and that's it. It runs. Understood? So it's as easy as that. It's just like, no, you don't have to think of any load balancing. You don't have to think about any auto scaling, right? No capacity provisioning, nothing, right? So it will be simply, it will work. Right? So for this AWS Beanstalk, right? You just go to AWS, right? Here you just say Beanstalk, right? You see Elastic Beanstalk. So this is what we were talking about. Run and manage web applications. This is the purpose. Run and manage web applications. So you have to know what it is, right? You have to know what it is and what is the purpose, right? And whatever on the very first page, whatever things are mentioned, right? So this much information you must be knowing, right? It is fully managed, its benefits, easy to get started, complete resource control you will have. So what I said, it's fully managed, right? You have complete resource control as well. So that's the thing. So understand that you just have a code, you just upload it, but the resources, whatever gets created, right, that will be automatic, right? But you have the control. You can still modify it if you wish. Got it? So say like you click on create application, right? Here you just say, give some application name. Just say like a app. App 1, something I gave name. Now some application tags, some key value pair you can give, some platform you can choose, say like whatever Python or PHP, something I choose, and then sample application, right? So here you have option for configure more options, right? So you can go to configure more options, right? Just for no understanding, right? So you have options here. Single instance you want, single instance using spot instance, high availability using spot or on-demand instance, custom configuration you want. So if you have single instance, you see PHP, some this particular version running on Amazon Linux. You want to change it to Windows or you want to change it to something else, you can just click here and software instances, capacity, load balancer. This configuration does not contain any load balancer. And as soon as you change to high availability, you just come down and see, no, load balancer came here. See, listener got created, right? Application load balancer, this option came. So you have all these features, tags, network, notification, right? Security, capacity, EC2 instances. Just
Is it
click on
free
that.
or is it free? This elastic beanstalk, or we have to
Free,
pay for?
everything, whatever we are discussing, this all things are free. The only thing is, see here, minimum 1 and maximum 4 instances will be running. So the cost of running the instances will be on you.
Okay.
Yeah. So combined purchase options, right, on demand, this T2 micro you are looking for, right, or T2 nano or something you can change, right? So you have all those options. You can, you know, change things here, right? Now you just don't do anything here. Say like here also, go to previous one. If you're not changing anything, say like you're now, I'm just clicking one more time. So again, it went to that single one, free tier eligible. You see here, free tier eligible. So if you're not doing anything, right, simply you just what you have done, one application name you have given PHP, something you have chosen, right, sample application, and you just say here, create application, that's it, one click. And you see what's going to happen. Meanwhile, I'll just open AWS. I'll just come here. I'll just show you EC2. So here EC2 running instances. I don't have anything, right? So see, this is stopped. This Red Hat Linux is already stopped and nothing else is there, right? You just see nothing else is there. You see, I don't know what happened here. Creating application, created security group. You see, things are happening, right?
Yes.
So just
Why it's not
understand.
connected to a network? I mean, I think I saw it. It says it's not part of any VPC,
Which one?
the beanstalk. When we create the application, I mean,
Huh.
in configuration, in the last page when you were showing,
Huh.
when you went to the additional details where the load balancers, security, everything was there.
Huh.
From the networking perspective, it mentioned that it is not part of any VPC or anything.
So I might not have selected something. See, a lot of configuration items you saw, right? So you can
Mhm.
choose things there. You can, you have options to select a lot of things, right? So if you don't choose, simply if you click on create application, it will get created, right? So, and if you just choose there, see what happened here. Just now it was stopped, right? And you see here
Mm.
what it says, bean app 1 environment is getting created, right?
Yeah.
Running. See, this instance is running. Now, if you just see here, availability zone also came, right? Sorry. So you see AP South 1A came, it came. Security group came. So instance ID, this one, you can just take a look at the features, whatever you wanted to see. Just see. So now what happens? Because I have selected the one click thing I have done. So you can see here key pair name is not there. You see it? Now this will be a challenging situation, right? So practically what you have to do, you have to go to that configuration and you have to choose key pair also. If you don't choose key pair, then you cannot go to the server at least. You cannot putty, how we were doing a putty, right, to our Linux machine, that you cannot do without key pair, right? Understood? Hello? Anybody can hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. So you understood the challenge here? I didn't select key pair name, so no key pair name came. This server will come, right? Its application will come, everything will come, everything will work. However, what will happen? See, waiting for EC2 instances to launch, this may take some time. Create environment is starting, right? Oh, that was the beginning. So here added instance to your environment. Already instances, no added. You just see these things. What I did, I didn't do anything, right? So if you just have a code, you just upload a code and this will happen. You just see, this is a sample one. So see, it's already been app 1-env. So this environment got created, right? Right? So that environment will have a lot of resources. So you have environment and you have application. So you have the environment. See this bean app 1 env got created automatically, right? So what will happen in one environment? You will have one application, right? In one environment you can have only one application. This application you can run in another environment as well, right? But this environment can have only one application. So each environment can have one application, right? One application will have some versions, right? Next version. Anyways, it is a code, right? So next version you can upload, and then you will have different versions. Same version you can run in different environments, but one environment, one application only. Now you see here, this is, that was environment, this is the application, right? So just see, you have the options: create environment, view application version, view save configuration, restore, terminator. So if you terminate that environment, you can restore that environment as well. You have the option. However, you just see here this application, you see some URL, correct?
Mhm.
So just try to open that URL and you see your website is running. You remember last time we were launching our website, how much effort did we do?
Right.
Here you just with a click you have created one application, an instance and security group and elastic IP and whatever options, whatever features were chosen there in that, everything got created. Now you have to click just because you are in the console, right? So if you get some hands-on, right, if you practice for CLI, right, or SDK if you use, right? So what will happen? Your life will be very easy. Don't have to do anything. It will be all scripted, right? In Lambda, you had seen that day some option we had for scheduling some timeline, some like how we schedule cron tab, some kind of scheduling option were there. So you can just schedule that at this time, that should happen and this should happen, and everything will happen at that time automatically. You can just program it. So it's as easy as that. So you got the instance, you got the application, this website is accessible, right? Everything happened just by doing very small thing. Correct? It's running already on Amazon Linux 2 got created. That was the default one. Understood? Now what you can do, I'll just show you how I delete. So this environment is there, right? So if I delete this environment, right, what will happen? This application will also get deleted. I'll just show you. Terminate environment. So see, I'm just clicking on terminate environment, and what it says, permanently terminate this environment. This can't be undone. Tier platform version last modified. Any additional resources will be gone, will be destroyed. You see, if you just go to application and then you just select the application and then you try to delete the application. So that time it says permanently delete. This action can't be undone. If you proceed with this action, the following environment will be terminated. Now you see the difference. When you are deleting the application, it says environment will also go. Can you figure out the difference?
Yes.
So it is coupled with that environment.
It is.
So is it coupled
Yes.
with the environment? I mean, yeah.
Correct.
Is it
Correct.
integrated with the
100%.
environment?
Correct. So if this environment will go with it. If you delete that application, this environment will also go. But while we were
But if you have
deleting
done with manually, but if you have done manually, then it is not the case. I mean, we can manage the applications independently.
no, if you delete the environment, my point is this: if you delete the environment, will it delete the application?
No.
No.
Correct. Correct. It will not delete. In that case, it clearly showed, no? So let me just first delete the environment and show you. So it's asking for name of the environment. So this is the name. I'll just type the. Okay, so I'll just terminate and I'll just show. See, Elastic Beanstalk is terminating your environment. So now the environment is going. So if environment goes, that application will not be running. So whatever your instances are there, right? So that instance, no, will be there.
No.
So this will be accessible. Nothing will be accessible. However, that application will remain. I'll just show you. So far it is there. Yeah, see, this stopped. It got a trouble because
So even if the
environment.
application is there, then what's the purpose? I mean, how can I access it if the
Yeah.
environment is gone?
So the purpose here is just to explain is here this environment will be gone, right? So if you go to this application, right, here you will have option. You see this. Understood?
Okay.
So you can restore terminated environment, right? Or you can create environment, right? And associate that application with it, right? So that's the only thing. That's it. Nothing else. So this environment is going, right? With the environment. What will happen? See this. It had it there. This got terminated. This has gone because that was part of the environment. So that machine is gone now. This is not accessible, right? The only thing you can do now is you have the application. You can select that application. You can restore the terminated environment. Everything will come up once again, how it was. Everything, your website, everything will be. So that you can do a testing offline. Okay. So that was Beanstalk. So okay. So fine. Let's move to the next topic, right? Just test it, just explore more little bit, not too much, right? So this is again from the CSOP's curriculum. Here you have ops work. So just take a look at ops works. Configuration management service provides managed instances of Chef and Puppet, right? You heard, anybody heard Chef and Puppet?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So how you have this configuration management tools, this Chef and Puppet, right? So this ops work,
It's similar
yes,
to, I mean, there are multiple tools as well, right? Like Ansible, Ansible is also.
correct. That will be like third-party tool again, a lot of other tools. But here this ops work has three flavors, right? It's giving you like three things, like with Chef, with Puppet, and then with ops work stacks. Three offerings are there, right? With ops works. So what happens here? So for others like Chef and Puppet, right? So the automation tools for automating the configuration of your server, right? So these are the tools, right? And you can also get the open source versions of this Chef and Puppet as well, right? So these same tools, right, are provided by AWS, right, through OpsWorks, right? So it provides managed instances of Chef and Puppet actually, right? So what will happen? This OpsWork will allow you to leverage the feature of Chef and Puppet, right, for automating your server configuration, right? So you see here Chef Automate, Puppet Enterprise, and OpsWorks stacks, right? So this Chef Automate, right? This will be keeping, there will be one server, the central server, how you have Chef server, right? So like that, you will have one Chef Automate central server. That server will be, managed by this OpsWorks. All this patching, everything will be done by that, and then it's like full stack automation, right? Everything, all the task, OS related configuration, kind of any installation of RPMs and all those things, everything will be handled by that Chef Automate. Right? And then this Puppet Enterprise, right? It's just kind of different flavors, right? Whatever suits your need or whatever you like, that you can use.
Sir, can you just, probably explain? I mean, I heard so many things, and what is the use of those things like Ansible? What is it used for? What is that? And
Ansible,
what is CloudFormation differences?
Ansible, I can discuss with you. Again, you can note it down in the Q&A, right? So Chef and Puppet, you understand configuration management. This term is this clear to you? This first thing, most important thing is to clarify this term. So just tell me if configuration management you understood.
Is the CMDB sort of thing, right?
Um,
Configuration databases. I mean, you get all the inventories and things like that.
you get all the inventories. It's not like you have a CMDB where you have all the inventories and you are accessing the inventory or something like that. It's not that much that limited thing, right? You will have a lot of all the information about all the nodes and all that will be there. But configuration management means, say, like, give me a moment. So you have a central machine. Okay, Shweta? Now you have multiple machines, right? So say like you have some file here, right? Some code here, some file here, right? Which is configuration, right? Which is the important thing which needs to be same on all the machines, right? So say like, for example, I'll tell you for example, I'll tell you, say like etc etc say like etc any configuration you remember, anybody knows etc in Linux machine, etc directory, you know?
Yeah, pass WD or something.
Okay,
Pass WD or
okay, okay. So I have taken past WD. So say like, or say like you have one day, like Shweta was asking about that sudoers file. Sudoers file, you remember, right? So in sudoers file you will have some entries, right? So if somebody goes and makes one entry in sudoers file, so that person here, if somebody makes one modification in sudoers file on this particular machine, and he gets the privilege from EC2-user or something, we were having a no, Shweta, and then we were doing sudo to root, you remember, Shweta? Yes, no? Shweta is there? Whom I am explaining then? Should they only not there?
Yes, sir, I am hearing. I was on mute, sir. I'm hearing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sure. Okay. So, Shweta, you just see here. You see to root we were doing a sudo, right?
Yes.
So, say like, for that you require one configuration, right? Here in that configuration, one entry should be there. So somebody logs into the system and then he makes one entry here in sudoers file somehow, and he will have access to that root account. But here you have one centralized machine, right, which is connected to all the other machines, right? And whatever configuration is desired, right? So it's pushing that configuration on all the machines, right? You can, as soon as you modify, next minute that configuration will be changed. Understood? So there is some configuration, some standard configuration, some kind of thing, right? On a group of nodes, right? Some kind of configuration. On a group of another type of node, some other configuration may be there. Or you want some kind of management with respect to, you want to install certain RPMs on these three machines, right? And you just want to install some other packages on a particular group of machines, right? So you have all these features here in that central machine, right? You just create task and just define it, and it will simply do that on all the other nodes, all the configuration, everything, right, will be similar, right? So that is the configuration. So configuration means what? something, whatever you are configuring, right? This, it should be like that, right? So some kind of syntax you are mentioning, right? So those syntax for configuring the features, configuring the size, or configuring some content. So all those things will be under configuration management. So there will be one central server which will be managing the configuration, right? So here in this case, what that is some kind of configuration management thing. So you can just try to look for some configuration management thing, like how we can do the configuration management, what are third party tools, and whether Ansible or CF engine, or kind of Puppet or Chef, or homegrown configuration management tool or something. So that is possible, right? So here what happens, just with ops work, you have options, right, to get one Chef Automate server or Puppet Enterprise, or you have OpsWorks stacks, right? So with this Puppet Enterprise, you will have one a machine again, and right, so you will have all the infrastructure and application related whatever configuration are there. So everything can be automated, right? So it will be maintaining that master server, this OpsWorks, right?
And this is all, non-chargeable. Usage is non-chargeable. I can use it.
How you can use it? How it will be non-chargeable? You are getting the server, right? So for that you have to pay, right? As soon as you just launch the instance.
Okay, we have to set up a server to use this. Okay.
This will
It is not like a code.
provides managed instances for Chef and Puppet. So this is the Chef Automate will be the central server. Got it? This Puppet Enterprise will be the central server.
Got it.
Correct.
Got it.
So with this, you can manage the other systems, the configuration of all your environment. You can manage. You have the central server, and you can manage that. This third thing you see, OpsWorks stacks, right? So this will be actually having more feature. This will be supporting your PowerShell, Bash, and again bit inclined towards Chef. So this will be supporting your Chef recipes also. So let's take a look at it. This OpsWorks. Just go to this. Meanwhile, just see what happened to this. Now this application is there, that environment is not there, right? Terminated this environment. So I'll just stop that application and terminate it. So you have option to delete the application. So just I have to say, sorry, this one. I'll just delete this. Okay, so this just delete it. Go here, right? What we were looking for? OpsWorks, right? OpsWorks. You see, OpsWorks configuration management with Chef and Puppet. You just click on it. Right? You see the options. You have OpsWorks stacks. You have OpsWorks for Chef Automate. You have OpsWorks for Puppet Enterprise. Right? So go to work OpsWorks stacks, Chef, or this. Right? You can just go and read about it a little bit, right? And before that, you can also read about what is configuration management one more time for a revision. So go to OpsWorks stacks, right? Just go to that. See, just go through some videos will be there, 1 minute, 2 minutes, something will be there. So some understanding you will gain, some more understanding you will gain. So here you understand OpsWorks stacks is a configuration management service, right? It manages the configuration of your, software of your infrastructure, right? So build and operate highly dynamic applications and propagate changes instantly. Start, fresh, register this, that. Add your first stack. Just click on that, add your first stack. Just see what's happening. Sample stack, Chef 12 stack, Chef 11 stack, right? Simply you say create. Here you choose Linux. You just say create stack, right? And you see what happens. I just clicked on create stack, and you just see what's happened. happening. You say create a chef-style sample stack with node.js application. Creating a stack named my sample stack, setting the chef cookbook repository of the stack, creating a layer named node.js app server in the stack, assigning a recipe, right, to the, that is chef recipe, to deploy lifecycle event in the layer, adding an instance to the layer as well, right? So just see that sample stack. What did it do? It will create a stack. In that will be layered stack. In that different, you can create different layers, right? So that layer can have the instances and applications, right? So a stack represents a collection of EC2 instances and related AWS resources that have a common purpose and that you want to manage collectively. This is the definition of stack, right? Within a stack, you can use layers to define the configuration of your instances and use applications to specify the code you want to deploy, right? So within that, you will have, say like this layer, this is having one stopped instance, right? Just see here, just click, it says stopped instance, just say start, right? Your instance, right, will start. Here you just go to AWS. So we had some two stopped or terminated some instances, 0 running as of now, right? So you just see third one is about to come, you see. T2 medium is coming now. Okay, so you just have to understand that how simple things are, right? All these things are simply, fully managed things, right? And you don't have to do a lot of steps for that, right? So you will have this particular, instance, right? For OpsWorks stack. See, now it's running, right? It's initializing. Now what? You have the instance, right? You have the, say like this layer, Node.js app server. This is a layer, is a blueprint of for a set of EC2 instances, right? It specifies the instance settings, associated resources, packages, profiles, security groups, everything. You can add multiple layers. In the stack, you see layer, this layer, instance is setting up, right? As soon as that instance gets set up, right, you can deploy an application. So as of now, if you click on deploy an application, it will say, if you say deploy an app, no running instances with OpsWorks status online, right? So till now that has not come up, something initializing, because that is T2 medium, it may take little time. I'll show you. Hope it comes now. So I'll just go and see deploy an app. Deploy an app. Not yet. Just wait for a moment, and then we'll have it, right? So it's taking a little time, right? So meanwhile, we'll take a look at another topic, right? So that is DevOps, right? So just see DevOps, right? You're familiar with the term DevOps?
Yes, Harish.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Harish.
okay, good. So this DevOps is now not a new terminology, right? So we all understand that what it is, right? So they say like it's just not discipline or something. It's not like a tool or something. It's just like a combination of tools and practices and certain things, right? So what is the purpose? You want to deliver the application, right, to the customer as early as possible, right? You see, build, test.
And also it adds agility into the process in terms of
Correct.
getting an instance ready and then doing the operations or
Yes.
I mean, so it kills the number of hand holding processes in between the development and the operations team.
Perfect. Perfect. So that is agile that you do, right? So it will be so you see these terms: speed, rapid delivery, reliability, scale, security, improved collaboration. So all these features, right, you will be having with this DevOps, right? So you can no, it will be more reliable, right? And it will be definitely more collaboration and rapid delivery and all those things, the benefits of DevOps. So you want me to explain anything more on DevOps? Because the main thing is to take a look at these 4 tools that developer tools are being offered. Okay. So just try to understand the theoretical concept of what is DevOps, right? What kind of practice, and just go for watch some small video or something if anybody has any confusion. Rahul, you understand, right? Who else we have? Anybody wants me to explain this more? Please confirm. Santosh?
Okay, I'll go for it through notes, Harish.
As such, there is nothing required because DevOps is a very huge huge
Yes,
topic.
that's it.
If
That's
we
it.
go, then it will take 10 days to complete course.
Correct.
So it's one
theoretical,
slide is
just
enough.
in whatever Buddha tool and whatever we understand the
Just
basic.
just the basic understanding is required. So
Correct. So you understand, Rahul, the basic thing, like at least like what it is.
yes, I have got it. I will follow some of the contents if required, and then I'll go Amazon theoretical parts and I'll because we have to perform many tasks today. So as soon as we will get through that, will be more helpful.
Sure. Yeah. So very vast topic, as Santosh told. So just here, so mean to say that here in AWS as well, right? So we have the tools available, right? And it's these few tools. So before we come to these tools, let me go back and see whether this instance successfully checks. Yeah, you see 2 of 2 checks passed, and you see here. I'll just go to stack one more time, right? And you see apps, deploy an app, or you have option to run the command, run command or deploy an app. So you have deploy an app, click on that, Node.js sample app, deploy, just some comment, instance. You see that instance is up and running now. So OpsWork will run this command on one of one instances. So you can do that on multiple instances. You see deploy, you have it, the code is application is getting deployed now. You have you have the option to repeat, right? You just go to stack and you see here admin 1 is deploying Node.js sample app to one instance, right? So what's happening? Going on? So just give it a moment so that we can, I'll just show you what happened. Did it get cancelled or something? No, it's going on. It is just taking me to this, right? So see repository URL is this GitHub domain SSL settings stack. Okay, a few seconds ago, admin 1 deployed Node.js, right? So this application, right, is deployed, right? So this application is deployed just see how we can access that Node.js. Right, you have this stack, right? In that stack you have layers, then you have instance running. In that you have the application, right? That Node.js application. So you should be able to access. How will you access? There should be something to access as well, right? So let's see if they have availability from the our instance public, that IP. This is the one, night. Let me try that. See if we can access that web application from here. Oh, that's great. You see, Rahul, what happened?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
How much time it took for this configuration, right? It got pushed, right? And server got created and the new configuration got pushed, right? And you have the service running here. It says this app runs on Node.js server 1, new request came from this, that. So
this application is running on our Linux instance, Harish?
Yeah. You see, Linux.
Okay. Yes,
New
yes.
Linux instance, yeah. I just said hello, hello came here. Hi. Oh, okay. It's taking with the timestamp and all. So you just applied our first application using OpsWorks. So in different layers, you will have different applications and servers and all, and then you can centrally manage things. You can clone things. You can automate things. You have a number of options, right? With this OpsWorks, right?
Harish,
Yeah.
you have developed this application right now, so you have to pay for it because you have developed one application just now.
You have to pay. I have to pay for that medium instance. Actually, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
How much approximately? For example, you have run for 5 minutes.
Will be no per minute basis only, bro. This is medium will be chargeable. Micro will not be chargeable.
Okay.
So should not be too much, right? Should not be too much per hour, maybe some dollar or something. Yeah, $1 or something.
Okay.
So it's just like they will be charging based on some minutes only. So I will just go to this stack. Little bit of things you can check. There is no harm in it, right? So on your own, if you just do something, maybe you will get some 20, 30, 40, 50, maximum 100 rupees you will get. So whatever things are there in our syllabus, if you just check once, everything, so you will end up paying 100 rupees, not more than that. So that is worth paying.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I pay for these small things, so I feel good by making some payments also. So now you see what it says. This is what I wanted to show you. You can't delete my sample stack because you have the instance within that. In that instance, you have application. If you go to click this layer, if you try to delete this layer, it will not allow this also. You see, delete. See, you cannot delete this layer also. So if you go to delete that instance, right, it should not delete that instance. I think stop option is there. So you can stop definitely, yeah. So if you just, and one more thing I'll show you, if you just go here to this EC2, you just select this and you try to delete that instance state, stop, terminate instance. Okay, this will get terminated. Okay. To confirm that you want to terminate this instance, you can terminate this instance. Okay. Failed to terminate. Oh, this instance may not be terminated. That's it. Disable API termination. That option is set. So do not until you disable that, it will not be terminated also directly. Right. So full safety is there for your application. Right. So only if you go and stop this. Are you sure you want to stop this, right? So then you can stop this application.
After that we can delete that instance, right?
Yeah, once, yeah, correct. Or you don't have to go to delete there, right? You just from here only you can delete the instance. You just stop,
Getting
right?
stop.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah. So if I delete the stack, that instance will be deleted. Whatever thing related to that stack, right? That will go. Everything from that stack will go. But before that, anyways, like one by one, we are clearing things. Right? So this will be gone. Then that layer, right? You can delete. It's still pending.
Still it's stopping, no? That's why it's not.
Yeah. Correct. So just give it a moment. Right. Okay. So I'll do that. Right. So just for your understanding, you just have to know this. You see this application is there. You can delete from here. Are you sure you want to delete that application? You can delete it. You can go to instance. You can. So this is in stopping already. So you can go to stack and then you can finally shutting down. See here, this will be, it should show you stopping here, right? So this will stop, this will get deleted, this will stop, and then I will delete the stack. Delete stack I will use. Okay, so like this you can do in the practical if you are doing right later. Right? So just delete that stack as well. So let me take a look at what is next. Yeah, so this code commit, you just see code commit. So committing, right? You are committing a code, right? So this is a version control feature, right? What it is? Version control. So how we have configuration management for managing the configuration here. This is the source control or version control. It is right. You heard about that Git. Everyone?
GIT, right? GIT, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
GitHub.
Yeah, GitHub you heard, right? Git you heard, right? So Buddha, Git.
Yeah, GitHub.
Right. So you have the actually we will be using it for hosting code in Git repository. We'll have our own private Git repository, right? So this is like this code commit is again the fully managed version control system, right, from the AWS, right? And you can store whatever you wish, right? Say like code or maybe binary or kind of some information, so that all those things you can manage here, you can put here, and then you have the benefit of collaboration, right? You have another team somewhere else, right? And you are working from here, right? So you all can collaborate, right? And you can just make changes, and you can delete, or you can compare, or you have you'll have your own separate trunk where you can just do the modifications, and then you can commit it. Code can be merged, right? Code can be you'll be working on that. So this is version control system. So just you should understand what is configuration management system, what is version control system. This will control the version. If somebody might be knowing about SVN, subversion earlier, right? Yeah. Before that, some kind of CVS was there. Yeah, correct. So like that, earlier. Now Git came later, right? So that became too much famous, right? So now you have this is using the Git. And the benefit is this will be integrated with the IAM, right? So the security, you will have good security, because IAM users, you remember how we created user and how we associated the policies and permissions for the user, right? So exactly like that, using all those policies and permissions, whatever you give to the user, that person will get it to the code commit on the repository. Whatever repository is there, so who can do what, all those permissions will be there, right? So you have the security as well, right? you have the benefit of fully managed service also, right? So I'll just show you for maybe if you just try to do sometime, no hands-on or something, but I'll just show you. Let me delete it. Can't delete. So okay, so here layer also you can't delete. Instances, you have the instances stop, you delete this instance. First you delete this instance. Okay, now you can delete that layer. Are you sure? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, gone. Now you go and delete that stack. Yes. Yeah. So starting from the stack and then layer, then instance, then application like that. So you see this is stopped and it will go now. It will go also. Or just select and you can instance state and terminate. Okay, terminated now. Now terminated. Okay, so fine. So now what I was telling, this code commit, right? Version control system. So understood, right? Version control system. So I was just showing you code commit. So just go to this AWS and there you just type code commit, right? Store code in private Git repositories. You see here, first one. Click on that, right? And you have the option to create the repository. Got it? No charges. You can try it. Creating the repository depends on how many users and all will be there. So no charges. You just create it. You can simply go and click on that create. You can just give some repository name and something, and then you can click on create. That will be created. So you have to understand what is code commit, right? So you can create repositories, right, for version control. Just go through some videos. See, whenever you see some small video, just think like it's very good. Just go through video. In 1 or 2 minutes, it will give you more features related to that. All these things will be there in that video. They will just tell all these things. So you can store anything. You have highly available, scalable and redundant architecture, right? So you don't have to do you don't have to create your own repository and things. So you will have fully managed option, right? And backup and scalability and security from IAM, you see, AWS identity and access management I was telling, right? So you have that benefit, it's integrated with that, and user specific permissions you can assign, you can store anything in that. So that is code commit. Now you have something code build, a fully managed build service in the cloud, right? So what is that build service? Anybody heard about any build service something? Building means what? Code build means, build service means what?
Compile and execute. Compile and execute.
Yes, 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 yes. Compile your code, compile your source code and execute it, run it. Run some test, right? It will create some software package, right? So that software package you can deploy. So this will build a code, right? It will build a package, right? By this process, right? And then so this is again fully managed option, right? And we can simply go and we can click and we can know how we search code commit, we search code build, and then you can go and get the build environment, pre-configured build environment, you can say, right? And then if you wish, you can also create your own custom build environment. You can modify the build environment, right? And you can run your own build tools, whatever you wish, right? So again here, the charges and all will be just for using the computer resources, that's it, right? So that is for building. Now comes the deployment, correct? What is deployment? You built, now you will deploy, right?
Yeah.
Deploy into production server or a staging server.
Correct, true. So if you do, anybody did the manual deployment of code?
Yeah, I have done previously.
So difficult, right?
Yeah.
Right. So some mistake might happen, or some no, it might take some time also, right?
Yeah.
And again, no, some downtime or something may be there, right?
Yes.
So this code deploy, right? So this is awesome thing, right? All those issues that you face, right? So here you don't have to face any issue, right? It will be fully managed, right? And it will automate the entire process, right? And we can rapidly release the new features, whatever comes, right? And simply, there won't be any downtime, right? We can track it, centrally. We can have CLI, right? Or through console, right? We can configure for some kind of push notifications, right? We can get notification that, okay, now some live update is happening, some things are happening. So all these updates you will be getting, right? And you just pay for whatever service you are using, right? Only for that, not for the tool. Now comes the pipeline, right? So it's a continuous delivery service used to model, visualize, and automate steps needed for software release, right? So here it's like continuous delivery service, right? CI/CD, right? So here you build, test, deploy, right? Build, test, deploy. That cycle is there, no? So build, first you build, then you test, and then you deploy to staging, then you deploy to production, right? So it's fully managed continuous delivery service, right? You can automate the entire release pipeline. That's why the name is pipeline. So entire release pipeline, right, will be automated. So what will happen, right? You just have to make changes in the code. That's it, right? So that build phase, deploy phase, right? All those will be automatic. You simply make a little bit of change in the code, build and deploy will happen. So there won't be any downtime. There, this can be easily integrated with the GitHub, right, or any kind of custom tool. So that is also the benefit, right? So again, these four are developer tools. So you need to understand what it is, right? So that much should be good, right? Now, the another important concept, right, to understand is DNS. So you understand what is DNS?
Yeah, Harish.
Tell me, just by looking at it, can you explain it?
DNS, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, it converts, domain names into IP addresses, something, DNS.
Domain name to IP address. Yes, right, correct.
Host name, also you can say host name to IP address.
Host name, domain
yes.
name.
Say like you have some kind of say like in this photo you just see here the user is trying to access some URL, right? www.example.com or something, right? He typed here in the browser, right?
Correct.
Now machines won't understand, right? That say like google.com or something. So machines won't understand, right? Machines understand number only, right?
Yeah, IP.
So they will not understand that name. Right? So what will happen? You see in the third step, what is happening? It's going to the where?
Address. Yeah. Website. Web address.
It will go
URL.
Go to the DNS server.
DNS server.
It will go to DNS server. Then it will go to DNS root name server. So first, it is going to DNS resolver, right? So where is that DNS resolver?
Active Directory.
In our.
No.
In our organization.
Maybe your Active Directory may be DNS server also.
Yeah, because generally the DNS is configured like that. It's part of the Active Directory.
Yeah, in your organizations, it will be like that. In your home?
Oh, home? I don't know. It's in the router.
It's in the router. With the service provider.
Yes, right.
ISP.
Correct. See, in the system, no, if you check, right, that DNS setting, if it is a Linux machine or something, so there will be etc resolve.conf file, right? If it is your Windows machine also, so there also you can just look for DNS ipconfig/all command if you run, no, so you'll see some DNS setting will be there. So that DNS, sometimes you'll see that if you try to ping one IP address, it will ping, but that website may not be working. If you just say google.com, it will not open. So that means your ISP is having DNS issue. So what happens, that DNS server, right, it will change that name to IP address, right? So that IP address can be reached, right, on the internet, right? So each device on the internet will have one IP address, right? So DNS translates human readable domain names, for example, Amazon.com, to machine readable IP addresses, for example, 192.0.0. So this IP address, right? So with this only one machine can communicate with another machine, right? So if there is no IP address, no machine can connect to another machine, right? So for us, it's difficult, right, to remember this IP address. Name we can remember very easily, Amazon.com, but IP address, if they give a lot of IP address, we can't. Right? So for that purpose, we will have this particular database, right, called DNS, right, where there will be no IP addresses mentioned against the names, right? So that is actually called a record, address record, right? So in a record, what will happen? There will be forward lookup. It is called forward lookup. Means you just look for the name and it will give you the IP address. But for that, how much process is going on? So you just see so many steps are going on. Then that person has got the website, right? So it was not that easy. So what happened for the very first time? The name of the DNS server name is configured in the laptop. So say like whatever DNS server your ISP is having, the IP address of that particular DNS server is configured here in the machine. So as soon as you try to access this website, that the system doesn't understand, right, what it is, where to go, then it will just read that DNS setting and it will go to the IP address whatever is configured here. So if your Active Directory or any DNS server of the enterprise, something is mentioned here in the DNS place, it will go to that server. From there it will go to where? Root server. So there are root servers, right, which will be handling the first requests, say like .com or .net or .org, right? So like that, whatever top level domains will be there. This TLD means top level domains. So whatever top level domains will be there. So here in this .com is there, so it will go to the root server. So by architecture, there are 13 root servers, but in parallel, there will be thousands and thousands of root servers. But practically by architecture, there will be 13 root servers, A, B, C, D, I. I is there in Chennai. So in India also. So you have the root server. So the request from your ISP will go to the root server, and then it will. So here, whatever query you have made in DNS, that is called recursive query. And then this particular ISP's DNS, right, is now responsible, right, to get the IP address. If that IP address exists, right, it has to get that IP address and give it back to you. But for that, it has to do a lot of efforts. Now it has to query again and again and again and again and again to different DNS servers, because DNS is distributed, right? Distributed database. Now what happens? This query, which is going and coming back. So this is iteration, right? Multiple iteration happening, loop is happening, right? So it is called iterative query, right? So this is iterative query. Here it is recursive. So it goes to root server, gets only the IP address for .com. See, go to the name server for .com. It went to root, and root server says, okay, I am just maintaining the information for .com. So take that IP address of that .com, go to the .com server. So now this ISP's DNS has to go to the .com server, right, in the fourth step. See, this is my example.com I am looking for, right? So that .com server says, okay, you go to route 53 name server, right? So it is just sending, telling to go somewhere else, right? Go to Amazon. Looks like this example.com is owned by Amazon, right? So this Amazon.com, you go to Amazon server. So now it comes back and then it goes to the Route 53 server or Amazon server. Now it gives you back the IP address. So this is the particular authoritative DNS server who is having the detail of this IP address and this name, that A record is lying here, the actual one. So if it is Google, then it will be maintained by Google. If it is Amazon, it will be maintained by Amazon, right? So it has to go through all the process, and then finally that IP address comes, and then this DNS, this person gives that IP address to you. Now that user got the IP address, and then it goes right to actual server, whatever web server is having that IP address. Now only this machine can connect to that, and then you get the web page returned by that particular web server. You understood the whole flow?
Yeah, yes, I understood.
Okay.
53 is basically a port.
Route 53 is the name.
53 I'm talking about is a port, which is used by DNS, domain name system by default.
Correct. So they have named it as Route 53. The DNS server name itself is Route 53. The service name itself is Route 53.
Correct.
Got it?
Yeah. Yes, got it.
Right. So this is how this DNS flow will happen. Right. Now you just know that Route 53. So what is that Route 53? As I was telling,
I think it's a port where you are getting the response. Yeah, it's a request, and where you can request and you will get the response.
Type of DNS service actually.
Yeah.
It's a type of DNS service given by
Amazon route.
Correct.
Route.
Just the name of DNS service, how we have names, EC2, this, that. So like that, this Route 53, it's name of the DNS
service.
And what all things we can do here? What are the main three functions?
We can register domain names. We can go through the internet traffic to the resource of your domain and check the health of your resource. All these things we can do.
Yeah. So domain registrar would be there, no? Anybody registered any domain name earlier?
Domain name I have registered in my system, Windows system, and all this.
No, not in Windows system.
In terms of server, you are talking about, in terms of Amazon.
No.
Amazon.
No. Domain registration means here website registration. Have you done? Have you gone to GoDaddy or name.com somewhere?
Yes. So if I want to if I want to open up a kind of my own
website
account.
Website.
So I'll go to a I'll go and find a domain name for me.
Yes, that feature is also given by Route 53. Route 53 will have their own partners, right? So Amazon will have, right? So from there you can get the domain name at competitive price.
But from an organization point of view, when do we use Route 53? Normally, we all in an organization will have DNS
thing
servers.
Is to register your domain. See, you have how many websites your organization may be having, right? Not only one, correct?
Correct.
First thing is to register your domain name. Most important thing, right?
To Amazon, right?
So that is one feature, but your choice. You may not buy it from Route 53. You may not buy it from AWS. You might get it cheaper at GoDaddy, or you might get it cheaper at some other service provider, right? Registrar. So your choice. Now, what is more important here, without which you can't live, is route internet traffic to the resources for your domain. Getting it? How whatever things are coming, the DNS thing, whatever we saw here, this, who will do it? Whatever things you are having, right? Whatever, you will be using the DNS service, right? Without DNS, how if somebody goes to your website, how they will reach your server, web server? Getting it? Understood? Name service. The basic function of DNS is name service. that registration is like no domain name registration is additional feature. You just register from them or register from wherever you wish. Now here, wherever you are hosting your website, wherever you are hosting your website, that will have that website server, wherever that website is hosted on whatever server, that will have some IP address. Somebody has to, just now some time ago I was just accessing my website or something, so I just used the public IP and I accessed, right? I copied public IP and accessed, but everyone will not remember IP address, right? So they will, you will give some name. My website name is something abc.com. Now if you, somebody has to access it, the name to IP, that resolution has to no happen. So for that you have to use route 53. Got it? Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, fine.
So whenever you open a website, what happens? You have to get the name. Shweta, you are getting it? With DNS service purpose.
Sir, uh, this is applicable only when it is a public websites. You know, in a
Website
public
will be
forum, when we
public,
are.
Shweta, right?
No, there are certain intranets. I mean, within
So
organization,
you
there are
are
certain.
accessing your internet website with the IP address.
No, even if it is, no, we do it through the URLs, but then it will be internal DNS which can resolve it into. For that, we do not need Route 53 services.
So
We
we
can
are
use
discussing
internal
about,
DNS.
yeah, we are discussing about, right? What? We are discussing about AWS, something which is hosted in AWS, right? And that needs to resolve to IP address. You have your website. We created our website, right, recently. So you have your website in AWS, right? And you have no choice. You have to use the DNS service, right? Without DNS service, how will you, how people will access your website, right? In intranet, in your like you have your DNS server or something, that is the authoritative one, so it can handle the request like that. But what happens here? See, you can create one DNS server in your machine also by putting things in etc host file, right? So that is the basic DNS thing. You don't have to do anything. For DNS, initially when DNS evolved, they used to write that name and the IP address in a text file. Understood? From there only DNS started. They simply mentioned the name and the
Host
IP.
file entries we used to do.
Yes, yes. So initially,
This one, when we are saying from AWS, um, when is the situation? What was initially when Buddha was saying that normally DNS is configured on the AD servers? Which
that is
DNS are
something
we?
your choice. Windows machine you are having, on that you create your DNS, or you have some kind of no other server where you create your DNS in your organization, in your office. Doesn't matter. No, wherever you wish you create.
Right, but that DNS, I mean, will not cater to public this for
Why
anything
you create?
close to public.
You can create open DNS server in your laptop, Shweta, and it can help me from here only. Possible. I will just put my your IP address of your laptop. You just create one open DNS, one DNS in your laptop, and then give me the IP address, right? You should have your DNS service running there. Your laptop will be helping me, browsing the website. Possible. Anything is possible. Just up to us how we design things. That's it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I was thinking like, the anything available on internet and all, it is by federated by a centralized, where they kind of manage this resolution.
See,
So
so
Route
that is
53
how,
has that alliance with that,
that
and
is
that's how.
how, that is how, what happens is you are just following the same process to create your own DNS. How they created, they are not like someone very special or something that they create DNS server and they can give DNS service and you cannot. Got it? So how you just have, how will I reach you, how will I reach your laptop? That's the very first thing you should think. I told you that no, you create one DNS and I will take IP address on your laptop. But did you think that first thing is you require a public IP? Got
Right.
it? How will I reach your laptop's IP address, Shweta? So you require a public IP address, and you just have to run the same service that Route 53 people are running there, right? You just download some bind package, right? And then you just run the DNS on your Linux machine, right? And then you just give me the IP address, and you'll be able to use it. So there is nothing wrong. So DNS is a distributed relational database management system where you own your domain, right? So you are authoritative. You just understand here. If this is google.com, it will go to Google, right? It will not go to Route 53, Amazon or something, right? So who is the owner of that particular server, right? So that person has to maintain the DNS. Why other person will manage? If you are running 10 machines in your organization, right? So you have to maintain your own DNS server where you have to put all these things, or you have to get the service from somebody, you have to pay for it. There is only two choices. Got it? But
Yeah.
you are responsible for your domain. Nobody else will be not taking care of your domain name. Say like if it is mail.google.com or gmail.com or drive.google.com or simply google.com or whatever, Google is responsible for all those websites, no name resolution. Google has to maintain a server, right? So obviously they will not go to somebody, they will maintain on their own server, right? So they have to create their DNS and all this process, right? It will finally go to Google server, and then finally they have to give the so there will be some concept of NS record, name server record, and they have to be authoritative for returning the IP address to you. Okay, so here so what we were discussing, you have to route the internet traffic to the domain of yours, right? So this is the Route 53 can give you the option. And then the additional benefit, the third one, you see, check the health of your resources. Getting it? So it can check the health of your resource also. What it will do, how will it check the health of resources? You remember somewhere else you heard about checking health of resources when we were discussing about ELB. Something was happening. What ELB was doing,
Yeah, it was
if your
ensuring that.
if your instance was down, no, it was checking, it was pinging, and it was checking. So like that only, no, this Route 53, right? So it will be checking the health of your resource. It will be pinging, it will be checking, right? What's going on, whether this system is available, or you just give the website name itself. So it will be checking that whether that website name is no responding, right? It's giving that what do you call that get response, whatever, get put, all those things will happen, right? So for Apache web service, there will be get the things. So it will just ping there, it will just check whether it is no healthy or not. If it, there should be 5 times I will ping. If you don't respond one time, that means you are not there in the not there. So like that. So it's just like 5 times it will ping, or 10 times it will ping, right? So there will be some setting, it will just ping, and then it will say, okay, no, it's not healthy, right? So this feature can be utilized, right, in different ways. So that will be really good.